Mr. Gazi, good morning. How be?
Good morning, boss. Everything cool.
Nice. Good to see you.
Yeah,
And this is the first time I'm meeting King of Accra. Charlie, good morning, man.
Good morning,
good
big
to see you. I never knew you were this fine looking.
Oh,
You know,
thank you.
I've always heard your name, but I've never met you. This is the first time. You're very calm. Is this how you are all the time?
Yeah, that's how I am.
Or you are just some no-nonsense guy?
No, I'm cool until you touch my tail and then it becomes a problem.
You be one of them, man.
Oh, but
Maza.
I know you was a guy. You just say, yeah, if you touch me, I'll go touch you.
Hey,
The way Gazi they talk, hey, there. It's like you know something, but you don't want to talk.
oh, I don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
In here, we mind G, so we just.
Yeah, guys, you go way back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see. Drum roll.
And drum roll too.
Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. Well, yesterday we had a different set. Yesterday, we had Ephraim, that beat God, and drum roll. Well, drum roll is our in-house beat maker. If we need any beat, we go to.
Oh, man.
You know, we have a studio here, so we've employed him to be our in-house beat maker. So if we need any beats, you go there, my friend. Bokum kum chabe. Give me kum kum chabe 3 lines, yeah. We'll add it to your pay.
And I mean, who's play sheet, no?
Okay, so yesterday we began discussing artists, producers, relationships, and it all came down to education. Yesterday I had a lot of calls, I had a lot of messages. This morning we'll extend our conversation. We'll speak with Beat Menace. We'll speak with, I'll try and speak with Binoska. I'll try and speak with Kewa. I'll try and speak with, who else am I supposed to speak with this morning? Quite a number of them. We'll even go to Gamro and find out that this thing where they go on, do producers even benefit anything at all? Let me start with you, Mixmaster Gazi. You've produced a lot of artists in Ghana. If I'm to mention Eno Baroni, Stone Boy, 4x4, you've produced Captain Planet, you've produced D Crime, you've produced Sarkodie, Kwabna. Be like Andy Dusty where you know produce it. Which that one?
That one. Hey,
That one.
That.
Split sheet day here. Oh.
Hey.
Split sheet day. So, Gazi, all of these people I've mentioned, I mean, the big names. I've mentioned big names. Kwabna, Sarkodie, D Crime, Eno Baroni, 4x4, all of these
Big name.
big names. You've even gone to the extent of working with international musicians. The last time I checked, you were working with Davido. The last time I checked, you were working with Pato Rankin.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest. You worked with, is it Diamond Platinums?
Yeah.
Who else? I mean,
Harmonize.
well, just imagine. So you there, you've got the gigs, almost all of them. So when they come to you, let me begin with your international approach or your international efforts.
Yeah.
When you work with them or when they approach you,
Yeah.
how is the conversation?
Yeah, so actually, at times you guys meet on a cool grounds like party time or just a vibe time. So maybe Charlie Gazi, we have to do something, or maybe Diamond, I have something for you. Let's work on something. So we get to work, we record, we do everything. When master track is ready, then you just come in with the business side, like, so what are we going to do? Because most of the times there's 2 different ways of doing this thing. When you're working with maybe an upcoming artist, probably from straight to the point, and mostly is the upcoming artist that are going to call you. Oh, master, I want to work with you. You understand? So that one, okay, Charlie, I they take this or I they take that. To how much your money go reach? After that, this and that. But with the A-list artist, you don't go straight. Oh, boss, so I they charge this. But when the work is done, and then everything is ready, and you are signing your files, maybe you add your split sheet, or his company or his society sent you a split sheet, like, this is how we are going to, split the work, and you take it from there. You understand?
Mm.
That's how it worked for my side.
Is it the same thing you apply to Ghanaian musicians?
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying. You see, with this artist, already made artist there, when they call you or when you're working, it's not straight to the person, okay, we are working and I want to charge you like this, but you make sure you have the work done. Because it's not all the works that is going to be like, well, recording to no release it. If you are recording in 2 years' time, I don't release it in Germany. What I say. So maybe in the instance now, you go and say, okay, charge this beat, maybe this amount you had to take or this or that. Maybe at the end of the day, the work self will be somewhere small. So let's just get the work done. And when we are all ready to put the work out there, we do whatever we have to do, sign the papers, do it, or that business, then straight we release it.
From the way you're talking, there's no money involved.
Yeah, that's something. With the most of the A-list artists, it's not like a straight money. You understand?
Although they have enough to pay.
Yeah. So that's what it will be the business side. If you say, okay, depending on the splits, at times like, okay, I'm paying some, some workmanship or something, and the split will be like this. Oh, maybe I'm not paying you anything. Let's all split it in the proper manner, like, halfway. So it depends on the conversation that will go on. Then you guys will know what to do. But trust me, if most of the A-list artists, I think, Philip for instance, they will not, you will not even go there and say, okay, pay me this money. But I think there will be a good business talk in there. You understand? And some of these artists, if they say they are paying the money, that maybe some of the percentages that you need to do. So because they pay you this, we are giving you this percentage and that percentage. But if I don't take anything from you, at least I get that rightful percentage that I know. Say later years time I can benefit something great there.
I see. King of Accra, but your name. So I hope there's a King of Accra.
Yes.
Is there not a King of Accra?
Yeah, of course.
He's only the king of the crowd.
There's a tradition. There should be a traditional.
Sure.
Of course.
So for you to use that name, I dey fear for you small. Why would you So your name, King of Accra,
Yes, boss.
it scared me small.
I can escape.
Why did you choose that name?
Okay, so at the point in time where I wanted to be and I wanted to choose a name. I wanted to always go with my real name. I'm a Ga. Like I'm half Ga, I'm half Achem, but my name is Ga, and I want to go with Ni. But there were many Nis around. There was a Ni who was both a producer and a singer called what is this guy's name? The guy who did you say he did Boga Boga with Sarkodie. J-Town, yeah, he was also called Ni, and there was this other Ni, so I was like, I need to, bring the Ni out in a way where it will be like unique. So I'm like, okay, the jurisdiction, Accra, okay, so Ni, the King of Accra. And I was pretty surprised that people accepted it and never had any problem with it from inception. So that's how the name came about.
Right, I see. Okay, you have worked with Sarkodie.
Yeah, I have. I've worked with Samini, I've worked with Raquel, I've worked with Upanka, I've worked with Trigmatic. Even at a point in time, worked with Shatawale.
You worked with Shatawale?
Yeah, on Trigmatic's song called Miss Julie.
Miss Julie.
Yeah.
Okay, and you did you worked with Samini.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. And you did debut by Sarkodie.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, that was you.
Bye Bye to Poverty. Yeah. Bye Bye to Poverty. In this game, sometimes I lose track of the names when it's like up front like that. Yeah. Oh wow, Shall you guys be serious?
That's some old song right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm like,
Winning in the conversation, to win my friend. Me follow me formulating trends. Me person with ya
First biggest song out there.
Your first song, your
my
first
biggest song I produced. I was still in Legon when I made this.
Okay. So all of these songs you were producing, well, they were old
they're
obviously old
of course.
school.
Yeah.
You were not enlightened at the time.
Yes.
So were you charging them?
No, I was not charging them. This is how it started. I used to work at a studio called NT1.
Okay.
And at that point in time, Sarkodie was doing his freestyles, and he was known for the freestyles. So I was just there in the studio one time, and then my boss at the studio was like, today he's going to get him and bring him to the studio so that we'll record a song. I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah. So in a few hours, they went through Tema, and then they brought Sarkodie, and immediately he came. I stepped in the studio with him, and the vibe was just there from then. At that point in time, Baby was not released, so it was like a new artist and a new producer who has just started working in the studio, who doesn't know anything. I'm now even about to go to uni. So we linked up over there, and it went on. He further came back again, we recorded more songs. Then he brought Yapono and Muhammad back to the studio. We recorded some freestyles. So at the point in time, the man brought in other artists, and I brought Guru to the studio. And myself, Guru, and Sarkodie recorded like 2 albums within a span of a month or so. But things didn't work out well. Everybody went their separate ways. And then when I really got into Legon, I started linking up with Sarkodie again, because I needed to like leave the studio work, and then I'll concentrate on school. So when I got into school, I was like, there's time. When I'm done with lectures, I can still produce, and I was doing that in my hostel and sending beats. When I send beats, within like 2 weeks, I'll be working on campus, and I'll be hearing the song playing from people's dormitories and stuff like that. So I was just like fresh off talent, no education, no nothing, just raw talent, just making beats. I wake up in a day and I make like 20 beats every day. So I have like a lot of beats that I've not really even really used. You know what I mean? So that's how it all started for me. It wasn't like I was looking for it to become like this big producer. Or no, I just wanted to do the work. You know what I mean? And because I was new, and then my brother was also new, I was thinking, I assume that because we have done the work, if the returns are coming, obviously, producer should get, something.
Some coins.
Some coins, at least. You know what I mean? So that's how it started for me. So within being in Legon, I met people like Beat Menace, because he used to live on campus. You know what I mean? And he started giving me advice. You need to do this. He even gave me a book to read on splits and business, and business the business aspect of making music and stuff like that, what you're entitled to. He did all that, but it was too much for me to absorb at that point in time. I was just interested in just making beats, making music. You know what I mean? So that's how I started.
Okay, so what was your first commercial production? When I say that, okay, let me rephrase. Which artist did you first charge?
Did I first charge?
Or would you own charge it?
I don't remember charging anybody any amount. I mean, the only time that I think I didn't even charge, because I was working in the studio and the boss was the one taking the money. The money wasn't even trickling down to me. That was with Raquel. So Raquel came from UK, and my boss was also from the UK at that point in time. So connect. Then they brought me into the studio, like, this is Raquel, we have to record her, do this, do that. I was like, okay. So I formed a relationship with Raquel and her manager, so they could come over even at Legon to come and visit me. So one time it was my birthday, I brought them on campus to my room. We were having, a little eating here and there. And then the manager was like, yo, Nee, I know we've been late on payments, but don't worry, the new payment is going to come soon. I'm like, which payment? As far as I know, we are doing this out of love when it becomes big. And I was like, no, I've paid your boss to pay you. So I think at that point in time, that's where I stopped working with the man. But that's the only thing close to charging, and I didn't even charge them myself. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay. I get it. Miss Pastor Gazi,
It's not easy. So the charge there, you understand?
what was your very first charge?
I can't remember. For me, I've charged a couple of artists, like, you know, but I can't remember the very first charge. But then I've charged a couple of artists for that one. Yeah.
Why is it that you are charging the new ones who don't even have?
No, it's not like charging.
No, Theo, because I'm reading comments on Twitter, and the young ones are not very happy.
Yeah.
Why is it that me, small boy, I just finished school or I'm still in school, I want to be a star or I want to make good music, and I couldn't go to Andy Dusty to produce me, but I go to Mix Master Gazi, who had produced a big song for Sarkodie or Stone Boy for free, or probably signed a split sheet or may have had an agreement with them. Why don't you have the same agreement with me? Because once I've come to you, you probably weigh me, or you listen to me. Hey, Charlie, they rap. Oh, hey, wow, small boy, way they rap like that.
So you see,
I better go make her finish, because these are questions where they come my top where they direct to you. See the way King of Accra is nodding his head because he knows.
yeah.
So small boy come to you where they sing. Hey, you this guy. Mommy, you are too much. Huh? You there for make Stone Boy feature you. Then you make my head they swell. You finish now, you say, when 2000, make a fun away. Then I go the hustle and go do some 1 or 2 connections. I can't pay the money. I day in the studio, Pato Ranking come. You can't work with them. Charlie, so you work finish, you go pull some ordinary paper. You sign some, you sign
But
some.
you know, those Afghans, to them too, they go still sign, but then they have that upfront charge, you know.
Why
What
must
you are
you
saying.
charge them?
So you see, that is the problem here. We are all looking at the benefit side as well. With this upcoming artists, you see, the reason why some of the things we are not really paying attention to is we release music here in Africa here. We don't even see those royalties and we don't see anything about it. But with this A-list artist, at least he has that few fans in those foreign. Here, we are doing music, we are not getting any benefit. So that one there, you have to just do what? Take that upfront money from those upcoming. But with the A-list, if you didn't even take anything from the upcoming, with the splits, within that first 6 months, 3 to 4, 5, 6 months, that cash will come back with that new artist. Unless that person gets that kind of distribution deal or whatever to get to international platforms before all those things will come. So for that person has to pay some upfront money for you to know, to at least for the service to take care of some things, what I say. But still sign the split. Maybe future, who knows if the song blows her. And that one will take another month or years before, until the person is under.
You need to actually contact them, let them know. Or maybe you might have a friend somewhere and the person's like, yo, Charlie, they're really banging your song here. So you can even let your publishers know. That's it, they don't know already. And then they can even follow up. And then so with all these things, when you do it, they eventually help you get money. A lot of people don't even know, artists don't even know that, if you even go and perform your own song somewhere outside, you pay your body. Not like the venue, as in the venue is paying royalty because you are performing your own song there.
Right.
Yeah. And even instrumentalists don't know there's even another form of royalty they can even make, even if they don't have, even if they don't do like a whole publishing thing. There's this other thing called PPL. For them, if you're an instrumentalist, and then so you don't do the main composition. So let's say with what King of Accra was saying. So the 4 of us did a song. But at the end of the day, let's say at the point where Charlie, we want some guitarist come and play something. If the guitarist comes through and he plays his own melody or his own idea, he's actually started writing. So he sort of becomes part of us. So then he has to chop from the main royalty song. But if I say, oh no, play this my melody, play this. At that point, he's more like a work for hire sort of thing.
Work for hire is when you pay the person to come and play.
Yeah, to come and play. So that one, it's basically I have the idea, come and play what I want. But even that, there's the PPL thing. you they chop money for back because it's like, yeah, you played something under that, and that's one service, some separate one. So this music thing, it be deep. Like, it's not just physical money. It's it be deep. Sometimes people see online, oh yeah, Chris Brown just entered studio, he didn't record the vibe. You don't know the conversation, then paperwork he did back. So sometimes these artists for here, they make you look like they like money too much. But Charlie, for the Yankee there, so he did.
And trust me, all this royalties money, we need to chop oneself from GH.
Yeah, for real.
No, because the foreign systems have things in place. When your song is played on YouTube, they know how to track. The publisher is there to make money from your music.
Yeah.
That's why they are taking a percentage of the money they give you.
Yeah.
So if they play the music under the earth, they will go and find out who played and will collect your money for you.
Because they won't get paid
That's
themselves.
what publishers do.
Yeah,
They
they
are
won't
there
get
to
paid
make
themselves.
money.
Okay, so of all these things,
Yep.
if I am in Ghana and I am not assigned to any publisher outside, I beg you.
Ask.
The way you guys, if I get out of my feet, the way you guys,
Please.
That's
We
the
are
way
okay,
I
we are
want
okay.
people to understand.
Eh.
So me coming here, I want people to understand that because our mama will be able to say, "I'm offering you, hey, I say split to it."
But they don't know the real-
Like,
No,
let
so-
them
okay,
understand that
okay.
there's a platform they have to be on that you don't even need to what to worry yourself
so
about.
in
this.
Ghana, that I don't have any publishing. What happened to Gamro?
So if I can remember, the other day I was on one of the TV station with Kewa and J Master J, because they asked Kewa about that and said the last time he remember was like 40 Ghana that they call him that. And I said, hey, boss Kewa, if 40 Ghana, then me, then when I will get
You found. You found.
And also, I was one time with Samini. He said when he has Amsterdam, he has been paying tax and all that, but him as an artist that plays music at that place, so you understand.
Yeah, but also,
So to answer your question, when you're in Ghana and you don't have any collection rights society collecting your money outside Ghana, then you're more or less doing the music for nothing.
And also, if you are also on another society in another world, Sikana wajina enfi haso. Because the nearby and cause our system.
yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that they're taking money from YouTube and other places that have played your music,
Other
not from
countries.
Ghana.
Yeah.
You're not getting the money from
Is it-
Radios and TVs and
Okay,
all that.
so is it because we are not recording the songs we play
I mean,
to
yeah.
Gamro? Is that the reason that the right quarters are not according musicians with what they are due? Or is it because Gamro is not doing their job right? Which of them?
Let me come in. I wouldn't want to jump on and say somebody's not doing their work right, but at the end of the day, okay, let's say last December, there was this article I read where I think Rex Umar was saying that government have not allocated money, so during December, they are not going to be able to pay the musicians their money. And that really took me aback because government does not pay royalties. Royalties are paid from the music that is played. So if there's an article being written that government has no, how can government pay
No,
royalties?
I know that there's some cash. There's some blank levy. Okay,
So-
guys, I want you to hold on for me, bro.
Okay, cool.
Please. Let's get on the phone and speak with Bid Menace,
Cool.
our very good friend. Coffee?
Boss man. I'm Manfo.
Yeah, senior, papa.
Senior.
How be you?
Charlie Chalk.
Hi, good to hear from you, man. Happy New Year. I haven't seen you in 2021.
You guys, Andy, you are the big man. It be me for right letter
Hey! Hey!
to book
Bid Menace.
appointment before I go fit come that side.
We
Charlie, I
dey-
say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right, so I'm sure yesterday you were on the conversation.
Yeah, I tune in regularly.
Yes, I'm sure you were listening. So
Yes, I was.
now there was something Mr. Logic said that you were not very comfortable with. He shared some details you found that they were inaccurate. And so you felt like you had to rectify, otherwise people will be misled. Unfortunately, Mr. Logic is not here. I'm sure he's on his way or may not even come today. I'm not too sure. I haven't spoken to him this morning. Now, you claim he was confusing the publishing assets or writers and publishers share with the other royalties, that's mechanicals and publishing.
And performance.
And performance, I beg your pardon.
Yes, and performance, yes.
And that
yes.
you were saying that he misled people when speaking from a place of authority on a right. Which problem did you have with what she said?
Well, for a recorded work, okay, for every piece of music has different rights or copyrights, okay, but there's also the inherent intellectual property that body carries, the body of work carries. There's the master rights or the master recording, which I believe was what he was trying to focus on, but he was mixing it up with the inherent intellectual property of the publishing split and the writer's split. And I'll also clear the air on something I think Drumroll added about work for hire. So here's the thing. If we create a piece of work and the Dusty writes lyrics, I come up with the music and so on and so forth. You see, it's crazy when you have to discuss splits, you can't neglect the topic of ownership or copyrights. Okay, and also for that to be clear, people need to understand that there are certain perks you may have to deal with, which at the time you called me, it went to the CMOs or the publishers, and Gamma was being mentioned. But here's the thing. If I create a piece of music, we need to distinguish clearly the roles everybody is playing first, even before the concept of the split come to play. Now, it is common for us to interchange or sort of use the definition of a producer rather broadly. Traditionally, a producer did not even have to play any musical instrument or create the music himself. So, Andy Dusty, if you enter the studio and you already have a clear idea, say piano, no, embossy, drums, embossy, and you tell Drumroll and King of Accra to do all that for you, they become session players. You are the producer. But in the typical traditional way music is made today, where somebody sits behind the laptop, they are making those decisions themselves, as well as playing the instruments and composing the music, which makes them a producer or a co-producer in certain instances. That if there's additional input from an external party, and they are also composers and arrangers, and in some cases, perhaps even engineers on the record. So please, let's get it straight. The fact that we use the word producer for anybody who puts beats together doesn't necessarily mean they are just producing. No, they are actually composing and producing at the same time. Those are two things. It's a blurry line, but they are very distinct yet related roles. Okay, so if I have a beat concept or an idea for music, be it music or lyrics, and you have either or, and we come together to make a piece of music, we naturally own the intellectual property of the work. So in Mixmaster Gazi's case, or the beat god, who makes the beat, he sends it to Samini, Samini does some lyrics and stuff. The ownership of the music, the intellectual property, not the master recording, the intellectual property technically should be split equally between those two parties. And in some cases, the master recording is typically owned by the person who has invested substantial amounts of money into making that project a reality. Traditionally, that would be the record label or the executive producer, the person who is pumping money into it. Now, the publishing generates royalties in itself, but so does the master recording. Now, what Mr. Logic, is that a gentleman's name, the one who was speaking yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, what Mr. Logic was trying to explain was about the master recording, not the publishing. Now, something was being said about work for hire. In some rare cases, somebody can come into the studio and say, I know you guys are entitled to the work. And this is not about the master recording. It is about the inherent intellectual property or publishing ownership or publishing split. You pay the people off. as it might be a one-time payment, it might be a succession of payments, a number of payments. But at the end of the day, all parties must agree that if I pay you X amount of money, you don't lay claim to the music anymore. And it is rare because it is not common practice. Because if you own the intellectual property or the publishing of the music, i.e. the lyrics or the melody, the music or the beat or whatever, you own it for your entire lifetime and 70 years after you die. That person becomes entitled to whatever payments that come as a result of it. Okay, Mixmaster Ghazi was saying something about if the music, they hit again, go make as much money, so there's a window, yes. But that very likely affects the master recording, but definitely not the publishing. And here's why. You guys may have heard Kelly Rowland's new music that sampled Ebo Taylor's song. The title is Brown Skin. Black Magic. Black Magic. It was released 3 weeks ago. You can check it out. It sampled an Ebo Taylor song. That master recording and the publishing assets in that recording were created in 1974. And it's making money for him in 2021. That's a typical example. So let's be clear. The fact that you may not be the sensation of the day on radio today doesn't make your intellectual property or your work any less valuable. There are certain opportunities. I've mediated on projects that only 30 seconds of a piece of music was used in a commercial, and the person got a check of $35,000. And that deal was even considered a bad deal because they could have been paid as high as $150K. So if you are relinquishing those rights by signing off and saying, okay, I am doing a work for hire type situation, and you collect even $100K, it's a loss. I'll give you a typical example. There was a popular TV show, Tyra Banks' Next Top Model, right? They had like an instrumental jingle they used for the show. When they go for breaks, you play and that sort of thing. The person who created that beat was making $20,000 every episode. Anytime they played that music, the person's take home was $20,000. So even if I do a piece of music and somebody walks up to me and says, Kofi, I want you to relinquish all your publishing rights or whatever under a work for hire type situation, even if I charge $100K, I am shooting myself in the foot. Okay, in this part of the world, because we don't have structures properly in place, it's hard for creators to realize the value their works carry. Okay, but let me say this. What we do has always had a global audience, regardless. We need to make things more comfortable and more streamlined in Ghana. But what we do has always had a global audience. And it's even getting clearer by the day because, think about it. Afrobeat is now taking over the world. Everybody wants a piece of the African sound. And this is not the first time it's happened. It's happened before. However, our first recorded high-life music set, the first recorded high-life music in history, was not even recorded in Ghana. The Ghanaian musicians traveled to England to record it there, and it was a sensation amongst the few people who were privy to listening to it. This was in 1927, 1928. So music and art always has a global audience. So you have to think globally. So whether or not structures work in Ghana, you have to sign that split sheet. Because trust me, when an opportunity comes, I have a friend who had an opportunity to have his music used as the main theme for a BBC program. But because he didn't have his splits and the rights paperwork in place, they passed over him. They had to look for something else because at the end of the day, systems work elsewhere. And nobody would like to be audited and be found that, okay, they are taking somebody for granted or they are exploiting somebody's intellectual property work. This is a crime that people go serve jail time for. It is not a joke. So irrespective of whether we have functioning systems or not, let's adopt proper professional practices in what we do.
Okay. Now, when you were making your earlier submission, you mentioned that I pay the producer, and then the works become entirely mine, and that the producer.
That is known as a work for hire situation, and that has to be clearly outlined in a legal document. Because when Mixmaster Gazi charges for the beat and they sign a split sheet, that money is not a one-time payment. It is known as an advance, which is basically a loan paid that is supposed to be deducted against future royalty earnings until they meet that cap. So if somebody walks into my studio, Beat Menace, produce such and such a song for me, and I say, okay, I'm charging you $3,000 for one song. Fine. He signs a check, the song is done, we do the split. I don't start seeing my royalties based on my percentage of ownership for that work until the artist or the label that represents the artist have made that $3,000, then I can start seeing my money. So when people say they paid Timbaland $500,000 for a beat, they didn't buy the beat outright. No, it is an advance to future earnings. So Timbaland doesn't see his royalty checks until his royalty monies accrue to 5,000, and then it goes beyond 5,000. Then he starts getting paid. I don't know if what I'm saying is.
I'm getting it. Yeah, but
Exactly.
in the case of Ghana, where there's no publishing, well, you guys,
yeah.
the small thing, or you started laughing.
and the Dusty is interesting. You're saying this. Why? Because even in our Copyright Act, right, we do have a semblance of these international laws. Apart from the Copyright Act, there are certain things that can be amended to meet the times, to reflect the times, sorry. But as far back as 1995, we also adopted the Berne Convention, which is basically an international body of laws that dictates how these things work concerning intellectual property. And it goes way beyond even music. So from film to other art forms. You understand what I mean? Since 1995. So basically, whatever amendments are made globally in Europe or elsewhere is reflected in Ghana. So sometimes when we make some of these excuses, it's like we do not try to see the value in what we do. What we do is, Charlie, listen, only a few things in life will serve you for your entire lifetime and 70 years after you die. You don't joke with it. That's some legacy money. You understand? So, I think all the artists, all the producers, / composers or co-writers who have had, let me break it down a little further so that it doesn't go off the top of people's heads. The ownership of music is split into two: the words or the lyrics, the melody or the music, the instrumentation or the beat. Okay, so if I play Kum Kum Cha on my laptop and the Dusty writes the lyrics and he records to it, we own the publishing or the intellectual assets of the music. Then that version of Give Me Blow, the remix with Andy Dusty where it can't pass for top, that is a master. Because the version we all know, Andy Dusty, Richie, and all the guys can get in the studio today again to re-record that song. It will never be the same. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So every recording of a piece of music is unique. You can try to recreate that recording from scratch. There will be some little differences, no matter how hard you try. So that is called the master recording. And because of that, the master recording has to be protected.
Right.
So there's the publishing and there's the master. Okay, then there are a lot of rights that are developed. Drumroll mentioned PPL. That's for performers. If I do a song under law, technically, if I create a song and there's a part where I say, yeah, give my dog a bone, like a DMX line, and I bring my dog, Carlos, and Carlos is barking, whoop, whoop, Carlos can be credited as a performer.
If I
make wild way, I create accounts for Carlos from a performance rights society. Carlos has to be paid.
Right.
And the fact that somebody plays on a record or records on a recording does not necessarily mean they came up with the original idea. That's why there are funds generated for such people. I can do a song where I'll say Charlie Mumbo Musim, then people will be clapping. If there are 50 people and I can list the names of everybody, all those people will get some coins. They won't get publishing money, but they will get performance money. So if I sat in my studio and I made the beat, I am composing, I am producing, and I'm also performing because I am using maybe my keyboard and my mouse or my MIDI keyboard to play trumpet or play something. It's also a performance. So we need to be very clear. There are several royalties that get generated in any piece of music, and I tend to realize that most of what is focused on are the mechanicals. The mechanicals is what is generated when people create a mechanical copy. So downloads, burning CDs, streaming, those are mechanical royalties, but there are other forms of royalties that are also generated. One is performance royalties, okay, which also entails anybody who is on the record, including my dog Carlos, technically, just to make it clear for everybody to understand. So it's very easy, and I think that's what happened when the gentleman was speaking yesterday. He was intertwining some of these things. They are all related, yes, but they are clearly distinctive, from each other as well.
Okay. Well, Bidman, thank you very much for that dedication. We'll continue with it. I think I'll get back to you if there is any other clearance I'll need. Or if you have any other problem, kindly send or just pinch me and I'll be at your door.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome, sir. Bid Menace is a music producer and a DJ. Listeners, please keep it tuned in. I'm going for a quick, very, very short break. When I come back, drum roll, King of Accra, Mixmaster Ghazi are in the studio. We've just been joined by Eje Abraham. Eje Abraham is Eje Abraham works with Gamro. Eje Abraham is Bosu, CEO of Gamro.
Oh, wow.
Bozu, good morning and welcome.
No mashito.
Today we will take shit off.
Big ups, guys.
Yeah, bless you.
Right. So we'll be right back.
Today
Please.
we will get money.
Gamma CEO.
See the mind, though. See the mind.
CEO. Wait there, the boss. So we'll be right back. Please keep it tuned in. Showbiz Review is brought to you by Vodafone, Tri-Steel Roofing Company Limited, and Francophones. We'll be right back. Fast Graphics says, Andy, I think there should be a masterclass for the beat makers and producers. I am sure not all producers know about this information. Good morning. Okay. And the Dusty Jr. says, so in a case where some artists buy beats online and send it to a producer for them to do some small touches, do they expect royalties as well? It's a very good question.
It's a crime move.
Yes.
It's a crime.
Yes. Original Sly says, allow the first man on phone explaining things continue, okay? He's really making us understand things into details. Bring him to the studio, Cry. He understands how it works perfectly.
Maybe you should have been here.
The education is very good. Big up. Okay, thank you very much. Papa Kwesi Roddy, guys, are you ready for some big English? He says, I think we should establish the disparities between a sound engineer and a producer, because seemingly a producer does more for the artist than just orchestrating sounds. I opined that we have more of engineers than producers, and this devalues production holistically. Amon Bad says, most music producers I have known don't charge you enough as an upcoming artist because they know you don't have enough, so they will either let you pay small or end up managing you. That is if you are very talented. And they will charge you big if you come to them acting big. Yeah. Also, I'm going to see Ata. Sabzi says, I'm an underground artist, victim of this. I pay street beats 2,000 Ghana cedis as we agreed. That you work for me as we start on the first job, left unfinished. 2 years this. Andy, please, say, help me, ask me, I should help. I was not there, I beg you.
We no go slander producers for here, you know what I mean?
That one there, I beg. Okay. So, Don Quaitu says, please ask them, Andy, which publishers or societies are they working with? Gazi, which of them are you working with? PRS. Ni?
None. For now.
Drum roll?
PRS.
Okay,
Yeah.
PRS. Okay.
But there's also ASCAP and BMI.
ASCAP, yeah, I know
BMI.
ASCAP, yeah.
So someone was asking, and I want to answer the question of the producer and then the sound engineer. So
Right.
the sound engineer is the one who is playing with the frequencies in the music from the low ends to the high ends and making sure that all of them are not clashing. Like
Right.
everybody's in their own space and moving in their own time. They come in where they have to come in, and the producer is the one who puts the idea together. Sometimes the producer doubles up as a sound engineer, but shouldn't always be the case. You know what I mean?
All right. So in the studio is Ejay Abraham. Ejay Abraham is CEO of Gamro. Ejay, good morning and many thanks for your time.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Okay, so we're having a discussion between artists and producers. Again, benefits. What at all do they benefit? These gentlemen have made it clear that they are signed to publishing deals or collecting societies. Gamro is a collecting society.
Who assigned them?
Eh?
Who assigned them?
Who assigned who?
You said they are assigned. So who assigned them?
Oh, that one here. I said they are assigned.
Okay.
I didn't say they assigned to. I said they are assigned. So Gamro is a collecting society.
Yeah.
Do producers get paid for their works?
Okay. Thank you, and thank you to the listeners. And for the past 10 years, I want to put this on record, so record me. One of the greatest things I've heard from this younger generation is from the gentleman who just spoke. What's his name?
Beat
Beats Menace, Kofi.
Yeah. Kofi is just great. Kofi knows his crafts, and Kofi has decided to learn everything about his craft, and that is very, very commendable, because the kind of education that Kofi has thrown out today, if all our guys will be updated on those things, I believe that it would have helped a lot of the misunderstanding and the confusion that has come up lately. I will, before we start, I will ask you to play something that I've asked that you put on your thing. And this is about one of the records that sold millions. Lady, but you remember that song by Kenny Rogers.
Right.
Who did that song? It's
Like-
Kenny Rogers.
Well, Lionel Richie.
You understand the position. But now, in order to help all of us, I want you to play. And they listen to what Kenny Rogers told the guys when he went to receive the award.
Okay, I understand you, but the question I asked you is not
I'm
answered.
coming.
No,
I'm
please
coming.
answer that before we move to Lady. What I'm asking is that at Gamro, do producers get paid?
I will not give you an answer if the people do not have understanding, because if we lay a little foundation
This
of
question,
the understanding,
what does this
it will be
question
very
got to do with-
easy.
No,
You
no,
understand
I
the
understand,
position.
Abraham. What I'm asking is, what does
You are the presenter. I don't take it away from you. It is better for you to listen to me and say that no, answer. If you say no, answer, I will answer.
That's
if you
exactly
say
what I
yes,
said.
continue.
Yes.
You have
So I
not said
said
it.
no.
Say no, answer.
No, I said answer. I said, I asked you to answer. I asked you again.
Yeah,
It
please,
is
can
now that you are
answer it?
I
getting.
just said, just answer the
Are you
question.
now the second presenter?
Yes, please, yeah. Can you please answer
So
for
please,
us?
So please,
please
answer the
come
question.
back with
So
your
what I'm
question
asking
again.
is that Gamro is a collective society.
Yes.
Do producers get paid?
Who is a producer?
Well, these are producers. They produce for musicians. They sit by equipment. They bring together musicians to create music for musicians. I hope I've answered the
Yes,
question.
yes. Accurately,
Uh,
accurate.
The answer is very simple.
Okay.
Every collective management organization take money for works that are assigned to them. So Gamro, PRS, ASCA, BMI, they don't own works. Until the owners assign their rights to them, they cannot go out and collect. You understand the position?
Yeah.
So the key to anybody getting money from any collective management organization, just as my younger guy said, is based upon who did what in the particular music. In any kind of music, there are two major rights. We have copyrights and sound recording rights. He alluded to a term that most of our guys are very confused: mechanical rights. Mechanical rights are the rights inherent in the mechanics of making more copies. It's machine rights. So download, streaming, and all those things, they are inherent rights. But the key point is who owns the copyright. That's the key. Who owns the copy? In any copyright entity, we have an author. An author, if you see the term copyright, author, an author can just be a lyricist. It can be a composer. It can be an arranger. That's why I ask you. I know these young friends, and I'm already used to them, and they are one of the guys we've been talking, and it's good. But who is the producer? So anybody who creates something in a work has a right in that work. The key issue, just as the younger guy alluded to, is what you put on what we call the metadata. The metadata. Now we are coming into the intotos. In Ghana, we say intoto. It means that is a deeper inner rock of a woman. Yeah. So when we talk about metadata, no, you will never go to a hospital and a doctor will just tell you that you are 40 years, you have this allergy or that kind of. The first thing they ask you, what's your age? Where do you come from? You know, they try to trace the family line. In any piece of music, it is incumbent on the guys in the studio or the creator of the work to indicate his creativity in the work.
Okay.
That's why I asked about the producer. And we are confusing a lot. Who wrote the lyrics in the song? Who just wrote the lyrics in the song? Who composed the song? Who arranged the song? Technically, we are confusing producers and arrangers. There are people who are mainline, they are not sound engineers. Sound engineers are hired agents. People who work in the studios, who has total control of the holistic sound level and the management of the sound. But when you talk of a producer can stay for the rest of his life without being seen, but he's the greatest copyright owner because he adds to the creativity of the song. Let me drop this bombshell. In this country, quite a number of artists are not the composers of the song. Is the producers, the guys in the studio.
True.
Because people go to the studio and say that, me west. Then they will create the beats. They will even make changes to the lyrics. They will make it fit. Sometimes they look at the whole music and say, look, let's do the intro first. And in doing the intro, let's start with the chorus. The nature of your voice and the sound levels of your voice, the inflection is better that we do a chorus first. Or let somebody else do a first stanza before you come in. This guy is endowed with that creativity.
Okay.
And they add also who gets royalties based upon who creates something in the music.
Okay.
So
Now,
if you create and you have never.
Please hold on for me. Now, when an artist comes to Gamro to pick a 4,
What are they waiting for?
that be what you wait for. If an artist picks a 4 to fail, is there a portion or a space that involves all of these things, that a producer did this, a producer did that?
I know you are going to ask questions.
Yes,
I know you are going to ask questions.
because I wanted you to get me a form.
Good.
That is, if you have one.
Way back in 1983.
Jesus.
This is what they should have brought to even Gamro before Gamro does that. But when this was this one.
So can I have it?
Yeah, this was when I was.
This is a works declaration form.
Exactly. So they had to declare the works. In declaring the works, it is for the various creative owners to indicate the title of the work, who composed, if there are more than 1 or 2 arrangers, who is the producer, and above all, who is the publisher.
Okay, so Aja, with this I'm seeing here, this is works declaration. Obviously, this is an old.
Yeah, this is an old one.
This is an old
An
form.
old one. We'll come to.
Do you have a current?
Yeah,
Copy?
I mean, mention that song.
Oh no. Okay, so what I have here is by Abi Krensil.
Good.
Abi Krensil. I see Anyan. I see composer Abi Krensil, Anyan. Now,
Not Anyen, the guy who did that. It is not only Anyen, it is his name. The guy, he says that Anyan Kojo.
let me finish.
You understand the position?
Please. I didn't say the song. I said I see Krensil. Okay, so let me rephrase. So I see surname Krensil, first name Abi, producer Enyan Kojo. I thought it was Anyan. Forgive me.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Right. This is an original work.
Yes.
Right. Name Abi Krensil.
So in this song, what he's trying to tell you is
the
that
song is Boninye.
yes, okay. I mean, just an example. He's trying to tell you that this particular song I compose. But in terms of the arrangements and the production and everything, it is Enyan Kojo who did everything. So that is what my younger friend referred to. These are the shares that, so in any piece of music, if you have a composer, if you have a lyricist, let's not throw the lyricist away, because there are people who write good words. They may not have the composition, and the good words also have money to be paid.
All right, Eja, can I have a new one? Can I have the current one? Because
so currently you have somebody. I'm using a known person.
Right.
This is very known.
Right.
You see. Then he says that these are the works.
Right.
Go to the middle, and then you find various.
So this Diana Hobson's work.
Yeah, this is a composer. You see, if you go to the middle, you will see that he's now telling you about those who participated in the work. So it is this data that we take, because until you bring us a data, you will never know. There are many songs out there where presenters.
You see, with this, what I'm seeing here is that's fine. It's a Ghana Music Publishing. I know Diana Hobson as a publisher.
Yeah.
And I think she's
a musician too.
Yeah, she's a musician, yes. But I'm looking at, so this for Gamro.
No, this is her personal own.
Okay.
In terms of her music.
Okay.
No, so differentiate it between her publishing business and what belongs to her. Okay. You understand the point? Equally, if you are a producer, you see, that is where it's interesting.
Right.
If you are a producer, it is incumbent upon you, because you people, my younger friend alluded to what we call work for hire, where you are sessioning somebody and they pay you and you are off.
Yeah.
You understand? But where you add to the creativity of the song, it is incumbent upon you. How would I know that you come over and tell us that, look, with this particular song, I produced it, or I invested even the money? Because don't forget that even those who invest the money in terms of sound recording rights, if he had put his money in the bank, he would have earned something. So let us clear this. Those who get money from CMOs like Gamro are the people who have declared that in this song, I own this.
So
or
I found something very interesting here. This is a very popular song. Winner, winner.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Winner. Now, title of work, Worship, Medley, May You Hear Medley, all of them. Winner, track 3, track 4. It goes on to track 10.
Okay.
Duration, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Genre, gospel. Composer or author, Diana Hobson. Arranger, Diana Hobson. Publisher or label, year, percentage. Where is the producer?
Exactly, that's the key. So it boils down to what problems we are encountering.
No, I want you to answer that, because these are producers.
No,
Please hold on. If let's say this is the man that produced that work, I'm sure by now he's asking himself, hey, why has Diana cheated me? But which space did you produce or provide for her to even feel in that? And the Dusty or Miss Mastagazi did A, B, C, D.
So don't jump.
I'm
You are
not jumping,
running
I'm
ahead of
asking.
time.
No, I have to ask.
So no, you have
Please,
to ask.
got time, no
So
day. It
relax.
looks like when they're talking
Do you
becomes too
understand?
much.
No, the position is that there are two different sets of documents that you have.
No,
It
this
is
one,
not-
this one, the same.
Also, you
document.
listening to me, Andy. I know your stuff. You see, with all due respect to everybody, artists and people who come to the society, sometimes it is not all of them who will declare everything.
Okay.
That's the truth.
So that's
So
the
that's
problem.
the problem there.
Yeah, so let's solve it.
Was
But-
the space provided
but
for him to
listen,
provide?
Oh, why are you jumping?
I'm not jumping.
When you look here,
Ejaba, I see I'm Wakonya. If
Oh,
you
no.
came and you didn't have a seat, you will
Okay.
stand.
No, wait. I will stand. Look, let's not, because we are educating the
Ramro,
public.
are you here?
Let's
I'm
pick
here.
them
I'm
one
here. I'm
after the
listening.
other. It is not only incumbent on the artist or the composer. It is also incumbent on the person who created his or her work. Because if I come to your studio and you do all that for me, and I come and I don't put your name there, it is also incumbent upon you. Is that not it? So this is a different form for the producer. So the producer comes and say that, so this is an artist. He says that, oh, winner, I did it. This, I did it. There are some people who will not even put the name of the other guy there at all, including those who collaborated.
In this case, what do you do? Because
So
if,
what
if
we
artists
do-
come and register differently, me producer, I also come and register different. How does it work? Are you
Because-
now going to fight for me, the producer?
No,
Are you
no.
going to
There's
come
no
just together,
fight
what?
there. We call this is what we call marching in BIMs and PRS. They all do marching because this thing should have been generated from the studio right at the start.
That's the meta-
You understand?
the
it?
metadata.
So you guys are the guys who will even feed us.
Yeah.
So when an artist comes and he says that, oh, this is mine. Sometimes they go beyond the boundary. They think that because they have paid you, you don't have anything. And when you also bring out your shit, we do what we call matching. When you match, you pitch the artist and the producers together. You said that we've got two separate records for this song. Because don't forget that I wasn't in the studio.
Yes.
I wasn't at the point of creativity. So you will have to feed me. And then during the matching, we then identify. Some of the artists will tell you that, oh no, this one, I added this, but he did this. And I paid this. Then when you
That was
explain to
another
them,
problem.
so that is one of the biggest problem we have in the industry because there are producers who have done so much in a song, but they are never recognized. And most of them, like with all respect to some of you guys, sometimes because they take the money up front, they think that, oh, Charlie, I've been paid. Look, I'm charging you so much. Somebody just said something right now and accusing the younger producer. You go and pay 2,000. 2,000 for what? You understand that? Before you realize they'll pay something, they never come back again. So the issue is also for every player, every creative person in the work to let somebody know what they did in the work. Because that is what Gamro will do. We will not have any artificial intelligence machine to say that by force you did that. No.
Yeah, so
Until
it's
you
still
tell
come
us.
back to the
I want us. So let's dwell on this sheet where
Yes.
there is no space for a
Pro-
producer.
producer.
Now, in this case, how do they benefit?
Yeah.
Drum Roll sits here. He says he's
So he's a
subscribed-
producer. He's
All
a
of them are
producer.
producers.
Yes, he's
King
a
of
producer.
Accra. King of Accra is not assigned to any publisher, but in his country, he must enjoy what he has worked for.
I mean, there's
So-
a simple answer. He's a producer. That's what I said. With all due respect, what did you do in the work? Whatever you did in the work, you either part of the lyric, the composition, the arrangement. Do you understand the position? So whatever you did is already incorporated because you have a composer, you have the author, you have the arranger, you have the publisher. What did you exactly do so that we don't get it wrong? Did you add to the composition?
Yes.
You understand the point? So if you added, then there is a joint composition. Somebody just brought something little. Sometimes they didn't bring anything at all. You understand? So that under collective management, you don't have differences in the semantics. No, you never do. Everybody does either part of the lyrics, part of the composition, part of production in terms of rearrangement of the entire thing, which is his technical ability. So you are provided for. And you also can pick a form and indicate all the songs that you did for others, including which artist and what role you played. My question then is that, let's be honest, have you been able to do that in your own aspect? Because there are many songs that you have done. Until you tell somebody, I wouldn't know.
Can I come
what
in?
you're saying,
lot of-
Andy, can I come
what
in?
Eje Ibrahim is saying, I must go to a printing press and print my own thing
Yes.
and add producer before I bring it to you. But I must come to your office, pick up a form,
And that is your form.
But
This
the
is your form.
there is no space for
And I'm
them.
no, please, let's not misinform
let's-
others.
And-
He wants
I'm
to say he
saying
wants
that-
to see.
And
There's
no,
no space.
please, no
problem.
King of Accra said he wanted to
Yeah,
ask
I
a
wanted
question.
to come in. Okay,
Let's
so let's
inform
say
everybody rightly.
Okay.
Anything that you do, whether production or it has a name.
Yeah.
If you, for example, with all due respect,
Yes, boss.
you added to the composition, you are part of the composition. So you have space there. If you did any sort of arrangements, which you call, a lot of you call production, don't forget that there is a technical name of the production where the totality of the sound recording is also a production.
Hey, Eje Brown,
We don't
please, Eje,
have
please,
that semantics
please,
on
Eje,
paper.
Eje,
I want
no,
to
hold
ask a
on.
question.
Few days ago, someone sent me something on Cisco,
You don't have that
and
semantics.
Cisco was telling us how Unleash the Dragon was created.
Okay.
Now here comes an Obroni. In fact, the producers of the song, 2 people, they created the beat, they sent it. In fact, the beat was not even for him. So one thing led to the other. Long story short, he had it. Now, there's this violinist who happened to be somewhere, even in a different state, and they said, oh, they did a sample of someone's song, and they needed a violinist. So this violinist comes in. No, it wasn't Unleash the Dragon. Tongue song.
Yeah, I remember that violin.
Tongue song. And then the guy was playing the violin. And his name is there.
Yeah.
So in the case of talking about compositions, and you did guitar, you did drum, and I did violin, and these things are not specified, how do I get my cut? That shows what I did.
I even want to ask a question now. So if I send let's say I send a beat to the young man over there, and he make I sit down and I create beats. I create the spaces for verses, and I create spaces for chorus, and I create a space for intro and outro. I send it to the young man there. He's in the studio, he records, and then he puts it out there. He comes to register with you, but excludes my name. Do you question him that are you the one who made the beat for this song, arranged all that? Because I know a lot of people have what do you call it, brought their rights to you, and they don't even include us. You know what I mean?
So as a typical example.
And some of them
you are right.
they've not even paid us for it.
No,
you
you are right. The key issue is that I'm just being careful
Okay.
over some matters.
Okay.
Because we are learning.
Sure.
Some of our fellow artists have been disingenuous to you guys.
That's a
You
fact.
understand the
That's a
position.
fact.
And some of you guys also have been disingenuous to yourselves.
Yes.
True. That-
You understand the position.
Yeah, I
Because
accept- I
somebody
accept it.
creates a sound for you and say that, oh, me na me go tua, nka be tua, nka me wie. Sometimes you have a hell of time after explaining everything. You say that it is mine. I did everything and took it to the studio. And if he doesn't even mention the name of anybody at all, how do you contact anybody? Do you understand? And there are some guys who are very honest. They will come to you and say that, no, I only took my words to the place. But this guy who is a producer did part of the composition. In fact, I don't know his full name. I know him as KKY. Then you just put KKY. You understand the position?
He's recognized.
Now, if you do KKY, KKY is a pseudonym. So we wait for the marching time. You understand? So that KKY himself can also come. Let me use somebody who is very well known. And I'm using his name very advisedly and the facts. Akwaboah. Our younger friend
Senior,
Akwaboah.
okay, junior.
Junior. Akwaboah is among one of the guys who have come to the office and said that, look, Captain, I wrote this song for this artist.
wow.
I wrote this song for this
do that?
artist. I did this. You understand? So when you check the records of the artists, some of those artists has even mentioned Akwaboah's name. Some of them didn't mention Akwaboah's name at all. But when you listen to the radio presenters, they will even mention Akwaboah's name. But because Akwaboah has been able to put the metadata there, so what we all need is that even in the studios, you should be able to create your own sheet of metadata.
Okay.
That is
Once you
position.
brought this up, musicians cry daily. Gamro, they sent me 40 Ghana. They sent me 400 Ghana. They sent me. Name them with due respect. I'm not disrespecting.
True mobile money.
Well, some of them discuss. Now, in the case of Akwaboah, who wrote the song, in the case of King of Accra or Drum Roll, who produced the song, how do they get paid? Do they even get paid? First of all,
they will never get paid.
Jesus.
They will never get paid because what music have you supplied to anybody? What
no.
have you
In the
supplied?
case where I'm saying in the case where
Yes,
everything
in
is
the
done right.
case where they have depicted their name,
so let's
they will
use,
get paid.
Eja, please hold on. So in the case of A.B. Cransell, who has done almost everything right, or Diana Hostin, sorry, who has done everything right. So title, Boninye, composer, A.B. Cransell, the secular producer or the Ashaho. In this case, if A.B. Cransell is paid 1,000 Ghana, is the producer also paid?
Yes, in this case, the rights are shared 30. Okay, the 30% go to the lyricist, 30% go to the arranger.
Okay.
You understand the position, and then 30% goes to the sound recording guys, including the publishing rights. You understand the point? So once you have this record, don't forget that Enyan Kojo is paid as a member of the society, because apart from A.B. Cransell even writing his name, he himself has come and said that, look, on Boninye, I did it myself. You understand? So you can match it. So our younger friends can make money if they just denote all the works that they have done
So now,
for people.
Assuming what is the other name? The producer's name there?
Enyan.
Enyan. Assuming Enyan didn't submit or his name was not there, it's been like 5 years.
Then his
Enyan-
royalty will be outstanding.
Yeah.
His royalty will be
No,
outstanding.
but let's say AB has claimed all the 100%, and now Enyan is coming in.
AB cannot claim on.
No, you don't
once-
understand. Assuming new artists come to you and register
I know.
without
So you
knowing.
listen to me. I'm saying that the guy has come, and he says that it is AKB and BYG, and he has left ZYZ.
No,
Okay?
no, he didn't. Probably they've shared. The two people have shared 50.
No,
50
he
already.
didn't share it because the money is at Gamro.
No, listen to what
You
he's
don't
saying.
understand. I mean, you don't have to. When you
He's been
register,
paid duly.
yes,
That's what
you have
he's
already
saying.
been paid.
Right.
Without adding my name.
Right.
You've paid all the rights. Assuming me thinking that you've paid me like 100 Ghana, so I'm done. So now I know about it, and I come that okay, Gamo, this song I did this. I'm the producer, but you say, oh, maybe and the industry has already claimed that 100% right. So now how do
Gamro
I?
will not say that. It's a simple answer. Gamro will never say that. From the day.
No, you've already paid Andy
No, you
years
listen
ago.
to the, unless you want to answer yourself. I'm giving
What?
you I know. I do understand where he's coming from. He's coming from a scenario where the guy has already been paid over that song.
Yes.
The moment you get to Gamro, years back, there was a problem. There was even no data. Now we are gathering data and we are working. Anytime you have songs and you have royalties, you have what we call undistributed fund. Do you understand the position? We pitch out a percentage of the royalties as undistributed and keep it there. If you come and it is 4 years and you denote that data, you'll be paid accordingly.
So in this
There'll be
case,
no issue
in
about
this
it.
case, what about all the names are there right? So you people are still keeping on undistributed funds. So that one, who comes for it?
You said
it's on a claim.
So go there and
not
collect
claim.
it.
You are saying that
If you
all
go
the
register,
names are
they will
there
give you
right.
some of that money.
You, I know what you have done. Right now from here, have you brought it to me? So yours is waiting.
Yeah.
You understand the position?
That's what I'm saying. That the person that I did with has already come claiming all what.
No.
No.
You are saying
All day.
You see, people, there's a guy in Kumasi called Boatin.
No.
There's a guy in Kumasi called Boatin.
That's what I'm saying.
Pa wrote virtually a lot of the songs.
The gospel guy.
Yes,
Pa
yes,
Boateng.
for the guy. And then what he does is that it comes to a point then say that we the media show. But after he's told you that you go to Gamro office and you understand the position. Once he denote it, he will be paid. If for any reason tomorrow he comes and even remember, you have to go through the data and the records. When it is established, royalty that belongs to him will be paid him. Because it is the guy who has taken the money away, but you didn't do anything
Okay,
wrong.
so
about it.
Ramo has been very quiet.
I think what he's trying to say is so this artist who takes the 100%, like he doesn't deserve it.
Yes, actually, it is true. He doesn't deserve it because he has given wrong information.
So what happens?
No, don't worry. The point is that although he doesn't deserve it, it is not your fault that he has been paid. It is because of the misinformation he has given.
So he still gets paid.
What Gamro has done is that you put out a little undistributed fund to take a look. Apart from people,
how will you know that is known?
you listen.
You understand me?
Look, you listen. Apart from the people who may even come later, there are people whose name will not even be on the records at any point in time. But they will come up and say that, look, I did this work solely for this guy. Even I did the publication. I published 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me say something to hurt some people. There are some artists, the moment they finish paying everybody, do you know what they do? What they do is that they come up and they write, composer, me, this, everything.
Yes,
but you know, in collective management, you also have to make arrangements for these things that people can be dishonest.
Of course.
It is only when time tells. But the key issue is that when they bring the records, can they be paid or not? Once they can be paid, it is a solution. You understand? Andy,
Yes, sir.
you know Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Of course.
The original thing was between Bonnie Wailer, Peter McIntosh, and Bob Marley.
Right.
He was leaving 70% for the rest of the Wailers. So everybody was happy. Now there was no record. Okay? Now he's dead. Julian Marley and the others, they are just benefiting from the huge royalties that is coming. Is it their fault? They didn't know. The children didn't know. You understand? So when we have metadata and correct information from the creators, don't just be taking one bulk money and say that, that's what the guy said, work for hire. When you are in the studio and you are just being hired and you are doing something, did you add to the creativity? Yes. Denote it, mention it. Don't let's just be going around and saying that we have helped people. What exactly did you do? Was it part of the creativity? Have you denoted the information? Have you given somebody the information? It is not when he's buying a BMW then you say that Mikran Mabuano.
Okay, so do you sometimes question the artist that you know that this artist?
Oh, questioning.
Yeah, like
I'm saying that. Look, questioning. Don't ask. Sometimes, you will even go a bit deeper and try to explain to him that who wrote the words. Is that me? I'm sure. You understand? Check me. I didn't make the call and he didn't get here. He just did 1 2 1 2.
So
what do you know that this artist does not play the keyboard? He doesn't know nothing about it.
How do I know that the guy doesn't
honestly,
play? I would not know.
As for that one,
how would
they
I
can't
know?
have all that information.
I will never know.
Asking, you don't know. The person claim all those things. You've been paying the person for years now. Then I come. You said you'll be allocating some money down.
Yes, you get
so
paid.
now that's what I'm saying. Assuming me and you, we still got that proper forms registered. Producer, I'm taking my artist, taking my. So do you think there's still another money allocated again
that's what
in
he
case
said.
the guitarist come?
A guitarist come, then you are going to
So
the
that
realm
is
of
that is the point I'm trying
performance.
to say.
You understand the position, and please, there is no system that is going to be 100% perfect. As we move on, we begin to improve. Recently, there's one of our guys, I will not mention his name. He came up because somebody has used the song. Somebody used the song for an advert.
Okay.
And the advertiser came and said that, I used this song. I want us to get the guy. Then quickly he was called because of synchronization, right? Exactly. He was called. He came, he said, no, I did everything. Oh, wait, the man I'm here, and everything. So the moment as he was speaking to me, we asked the documentation to check the records. Then we realized that it was Roots Music who did the production and publication. And Roots Music belonged to Isaac Taylor. And whilst we were talking, Andy, this is a funny thing. Whilst we were talking, we called Roots. Roots, where are you? He said, I'm around Katama. I said, can you come here right now? And then he came into the meeting. And then when he came, the two of them embraced and said, Captain, Papa, we go me pa. Then I told him that we are dealing with an issue. Then he said, but this one, I did. Then you know his answer. Oh, na say na come train later. Na catch just say, you understand you understand the scenario.
Honestly.
So you always need to be very careful in trying to create that relationship between them. Otherwise, you will throw away some of these things and it will become messy.
All right.
So there's no problem to it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming, Nigeria. Unfortunately, time wouldn't permit us. I wish you would have come a bit earlier.
I came at 9:15.
But the program starts at 8.
The producer told me that I should come at 9:20.
Why are you doing this to my producer? You don't do that. In fact, you have to apologize to my producer.
You need to bring the proper metadata. Please, Andy, only one point. I think that from this, the greatest thing we can learn is that those guys in the studio who are adding creativity to the works, they should know that they are part of the royalties. And they should denote it on documents and bring it to us. Otherwise, it is always getting difficult getting the right information.
Should we get split sheets, write them, and bring them to you?
Honestly,
Split sheets need to be in your studio even before you start the recording.
Okay. So in a case where you can't get hold of the artist, what do you do then?
You can't get hold
of the artist to come and tell.
You are throwing your thing away.
Our time is up. We have to go. Thank you very much for coming. Drum roll, thank you so much. Thank you very much, King.
So most of you still answer the question.
Ask the question because
I think that all producers for not be say even if they go allocate 100% to themselves, still you can still like go and claim. Once they know that, Charlie do
that one be clear you go get to.
No, it's still the same.
Charlie, thank you for coming. Miss Master Gazi. Now you say you organize a master class.
Yeah, so also, so the funny thing is, I even planned this thing some time ago, and as we saw the Boomer Council, I'm trying to do this to educate, the young ones coming up, so that we all learn about this. And
how do we get in touch?
Them? Okay, so it will be happening on the 13th of this month.
Where?
East Legon. The studio is at East Legon. Yeah, so you just have to go to the link in my bio and register.
On Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay, right. Nee?
Can I add something? Yeah, I also double up as an artist, so people can go online,
And
go
check
on
your
Apple
music.
Music, Spotify, follow me on King of Accra at Twitter, and then just get my music.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ronro,
Yeah.
you double as.
I mean, I'm everything. So, yeah, but me, my artist life it will come later.
Right,
yeah,
right.
but
Hey,
in
I'm
the
your
meantime,
artist. I'm your artist.
Oh yeah. Oh, me making over. Speech sheet that they make already. Anyway, yeah. So like real quick, me and Walasi dropped an EP like late last year.
right.
Dios. Kindly check it out if you can on all streaming
Right.
platforms.
Right. Thank you very much.
This is Hits.